GA drone here. What's going on, guys? It's a new drone here. These white little pegs that it's standing on do actually glow. They got green in the back and red in the front. They didn't get that quite right. This is going to be a first flight. We got a very Hubsan looking controller here. It has a toggle right there to turn it on and off. So let's go. We're gonna go ahead and turn the drone on simply by pressing the button on the top. Hold that, you'll get rapid flashing on the front with a white beacon light, red lights in the front, and again green in the back. Then we could turn this on. We'll throttle. You have a red light blinking, blue, throttle up and down. Once the red's gone, you know you're bound. Down and out will fire the motors. Down and out will shut off the motors. If you press that in, we have 3 different speed modes. If you press this one in, that'll be for your flips. So I got a little bit of wind, but we'll try, and 1 key takeoff and landing. Okay, maybe that's not 1 key takeoff, maybe that's just fire motors. Alright, so we have a wind that's coming to my back, blowing that way. The drone itself seems to be able to hang, and we are in the first speed setting. Seems to have a nice yaw rate in this first speed setting. Yeah, it's going right against it, and that's a nice yaw rate for a first speed setting. It's a nice day, despite the little bit of wind that we have. Don't let the snow bother you, it is melting. I want to go ahead and second speed setting. We've increased yaw rate, and pitch has increased slightly. We'll go ahead and do a little flyover, and we'll bring it back. It's got some pep to it. There is no camera on this one. This is just basically a straight flyer with altitude hold, and the altitude hold is not bouncing all over the place. Like, let's see. I'm gonna go hands-free here in a second. Hands-free. Seems to be maintaining pretty well. We'll go ahead and bring it back. I want to go ahead and throw it in. Well, let's show you the yaw rate in the second speed setting. Bring this back over here. There's your yaw rate in the second speed setting. Nice yaw rate, nothing too crazy. We are going to go press that in, and we are in the third speed rate. Our yaw rate really hasn't increased too much. I think the yaw rate's increasing very moderately, but your pitch rate definitely has increased greatly where we're able to fly into that wind. Bam. Thing's quick. It's quick. Improvement on this. The only improvement I'd say with this, because it is really nice and it has some pep to it, is maybe come out with a non-altitude hold version. This is a nice flyer. We're going to bring it over here then, and we will try out the flip function. That stopped pretty quick too, so it stops on the turn. I'm going to try to go this way because the sun's over here. It rises upwards before it does the flip, which is nice. That way, if you're close to the ground, which I'll get a little bit closer to the ground here, we're going to press. It does. It rises up considerably, and then it drops back down to the altitude that it was holding. Yeah, that stops nicely. We are going to do a barrel, and again it rises up and then it drops back down altitude. That's always a good feature to have, something that's going to rise up and then drop down. Thought I heard somebody on the back part of my property. Truck maybe? Let's go. See my car. I don't see nobody as I almost crashed into the tree. It's getting good range too. It's getting good range, which I was anticipating with this controller, because again, this is very much a Hubsan style controller. I don't know if the guts are the same, but usually when you see controllers, easy there. Usually when you see controllers that look like, feel alike, and have the same structures, generally the guts are the same on the inside, minus of course the transmitter, because I'm sure this is running a different protocol than a Hubsan, although if it was running the Hubsan protocol, that'd be epic, because then this would be jumper candy, and then we would have a straight sport flyer because we would no longer have that altitude hold enabled. We're going to go ahead and try to put it in our face here, that way you guys can get a look at it. Come on. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. Damn, that should have been a good look. Should have been a good look right there. And for the most part, this will be a full flight time test. I did have this inside just to figure out how to pair it and how to fire the motors, so you could maybe add an extra 30 seconds or so. And I am in colder climate and a little bit windier, a little bit windy. It's not too bad though. I'm probably sitting at like 42 degrees, 45 degrees max. So if you're in a little bit warmer climate, you might be getting a better flight time than I do. Here we go. Bam. It's nice. This is a really nice flyer. Again, this is basically a backyard flyer. You're not going to want to take this too far away from yourself unless you're going to FPV it, and at some point maybe we'll throw AIO on top of it and FPV it and see what type of range we're going to get out of this controller. But right now, I'm pretty sure people's yards aren't quite as long as what I got here, and if they are, cool, but I mean, I'm just about all the way down there. I'm keeping my eye on it, keeping my eye on it. I think I'm past that truck. I think I'm well past that truck that's sitting down there, and we still got control over this. There, something coming on back, it actually froze up to where it just skipped off the ground for a second. And maybe that's because I had the back end facing, I don't know. So that length right there, I'm gonna say, I don't know, maybe about 100 yards. So you're looking at like 300 feet. You're definitely safe. Any further than that, you might experience a little directional hold as it tries to grab a hold of the signal again. I'm pretty surprised in flight time here. Again, you can barely see it. The bottom tips here, frosted green and red, and the front LED, you can see that really clear. But at night, that landing gear is going to be really visible. But we're still flying here. We don't have any LVC that's going off. Throw the brakes on, push our right stick in, press forward, it flies up, and then it comes back down to the altitude that it was at. Push your right stick in, press forward, flies up, and then comes back down to the altitude that it was at. Again, I absolutely love that feature. Myself, I don't really do the whole flipping thing, but I know a lot of people do. I know a lot of people are sold into that automatic flips and rolls. That's just a really nice feature to have, because if you have somebody this close to the ground, which I'm like really close to the ground, press that flip and roll button, it comes up and then drops back down to the altitude. On some other quads, it won't come up at all, and it'll actually drop down, and you're unable to do a flip. Like, I could probably almost touch the ground here and do that. Like, I'm just about touching the ground, and as you can see, it rose up. I was able to do it. I think my front LED has gone. Nope, my front LED is still good. It was just the direction that it was in. So we're still flying here. Link for this will be down below. I've never seen this one before. And again, I like the legs on it. I absolutely like the legs on it. The fact that you didn't have to stick landing gear on it, that it was kind of built into the body. That they're just glowing. And again, I had this in a room where it was a little bit darker, in the drone room to be specific, and they glow really nicely. Seems to be getting a good flight time, and again, it's zippy. It is zippy. We're gonna go ahead and burn back. I'd like to get right over my head and do that. Pretty close. Head hunting. Yeah, I had to duck for that one. It's probably the nicest day that we've had out in a while. Yesterday the temperature was alright, but it was raining, in between rain and freezing rain. And as you can see, guys, I'm really flying this. I'm not baby flying it. I'm not holding it in one spot. I'm not doing a hover flight test time test, because those are garbage. I'm actually showing you what you can anticipate on a flight test if you fly it fairly aggressively, because that's what I'm doing. If you chill fly this, you're probably good. Something like this, let's see, I would bank it probably lift a small Mobius. The Mobius that I've used in the past, it might lift the Q6. That $20 cube camera, the 1080p $20 cube camera, I bank money it'll lift it. So you could very well turn this into a, really? My controller just beeped, which makes me think maybe it has an LVC on it. I didn't really read the instructions. Still going, lights still lit. I don't know what that beep was about in the controller. Whew. Lost it for a second. That sun's bright. Even though it's just shining through the clouds. There we go. Yeah, I think your legs aren't going to blink. No, it's not blinking. I thought it was blinking. I thought that white LED was blinking. So we're still going strong here. My right eye is tearing up a little bit between the cold and the wind. Put the brakes on. Gotta watch my depth perception with my right eye kind of half squinted. Yeah, we are still good. This is getting a great flight time. JST connection on this. Normal size 3.7, I believe. I think it's a 3.7. I'm almost positive it's 3.7 battery. Not really going to test altitude on this just because, again, my one eye is tearing bad because of the wind that's getting in it and the cold. So to look up, which take it up a little bit. Nothing crazy though. That's decent. And we'll go ahead and bring it down. Good thing we did that. It is going to take you a little bit for this to come down from altitude. It's not just going to dive down like we're used to with other drones. There, we definitely got to blink now. The front LED is blinking now, or it was. It is. Okay, so the front LED is blinking, the legs are blinking, so we have our first LVC, and shortly thereafter it lands itself. Guys, I'm J-Drone. If you haven't subscribed, smash the subscribe button. Questions, comments, concerns down below. Definitely get at me. Later.